Yo, guys, we are live here on the Freedom Revolution Network again tonight, so we can see more live footage of the protests here in the United States. This is day number 6 of seeing live footage and live coverage. We're about to show you a clip. I'm going to have somebody come on and show you a live clip of what's going on to see what's going on here live. I'm waiting for someone to pop in. Waiting for people to pop in. Someone to pop in the StreamYard. So you can see kind of the footage of what's going on tonight. Like I said, waiting for someone to pop in the StreamYards. But guys, so to give you a little bit of a heads up of what happened last night, I was tear gassed. Not tear gassed, but I was sprayed last night with painful tear gas in my face and in my eyes. Hold on. There we are. So they're in here. It's just not letting them turn their camera on. Guys, that's also gunshots you're hearing in the background. They're here. I'm just waiting for them. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to walk them through this. Hey, you have to allow access to it. It's restart the phone. Oh, God. So Mel's or have. Okay, hold on. Since I have you guys on the phone, how bad is it?
There's a bunch of cars with their hazards on. There's people on top of the cars. I've been watching a live stream and I can see them. They keep standing and then they're sitting and then it's crazy.
Mel, you're good. So I have 2 guests on the phone. I'm not going to reveal their name. Just for their anonymous sake. The one that's I'm on the phone with is about to have their StreamYard up on her phone. Just waiting to get live coverage of the downtown Canton viewing of what's going on. I have you guys off the phone until you get in here. You're going to have to hang up with me. Which one of y'all are coming in? Yeah, one of y'all are going to have to hang up. They're not getting out of their cars. TLO, if you want to call in, I'm going to put, you know how to call in. I'm putting the Google Voice on right now. Give me 1 second, guys. Get my Google Voice number up. Oh, TLO, if you want to call in, the Google Voice is up and I'll be able to hear you. Is it up? It is up. TLO, the number is 330-353-8527. Or, hold on, I can just send him the freaking StreamYards link. Give me a minute. TLO, I sent you the StreamYards link, bud. Okay, it's still saying device not connected. Can you come in on your phone? It's not letting hers. How many people would you say that's there? Okay, TLO is here. TLO, my friend.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. Where I couldn't tell you, but it's going.
So you're saying there's helicopters up in the... Joined by your... Hanging up.
About 3 large helicopters, military helicopters, just went overhead, heading east towards St. Paul.
So is it true that you guys had the 82nd Airborne in your area? From what Scarlett told me last night.
I saw a couple of aircraft that were high altitude that I'm sure don't normally fly over Minneapolis. So
they're probably going to start.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. See, with like the 82nd Airborne, I wouldn't doubt if they're more like surveillance support, something like that. But I don't know if I've ever seen any troops or anything like that on the ground.
This is my co-host, TLO, a.k.a. Ramala Shelton. Ramala Shelton. Sorry, I keep pronouncing your name wrong.
That's all right.
The one's not letting now. Her camera's screwing up. I'm going to kick her. Sorry. It's not letting her connect. But downtown Canton's going crazy right now. I know last night, dude, I got sprayed. And here's the funny thing about it, TLO. Nobody was doing anything.
Right. No, that's the thing is right now we're in a very tense situation because all of the, let's just say oh my, what is that? Okay. Just making sure my neighborhood's okay. So a lot of the officials and say police officers, officers of the peace, guard, whatever, they're on edge. I mean, had a little incident last night at about 3:30, 4 o'clock, right where I'm standing. I noticed that a few...
I've got live coverage. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
It's connecting. Give it a minute. It's just taking her phone. Are you still here? TLO, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm waiting for her phone to connect. Nope, she popped in again. Hold on. Remove that one from stream. Kick that one. So, guys, this is the person that's on here is going to be popping on, as you can tell, is live in downtown Canton right now. We're a protest. This is day number 3 for them. The infamous 3. TLO, I don't know what it is with 3. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
The
I
other
can
guy.
hear.
Hold on.
You mean Brittany?
Yeah. So there she is. Okay, she's on. Can you flip your camera around? Give it a minute. It froze up on her. You're having connection or probably jamming signals again.
They always are.
And we lost her again. Dude, I'm just telling you, dude, it's been yeah, StreamYards is doing it to everybody. The only reason I'm not having issues in the StreamYards. So TLO, are they still burning shit?
There's a few sporadic small fires.
You know, I'm stuck in it.
The latest thing that's
Oh.
happened or gone down in Minneapolis is a semi truck on 35W tried to plow through the crowd.
I heard a couple. Melissa, it's not giving me trouble. It's giving them trouble. TLO, do you still have Zoom on your phone?
Yeah, I still have Zoom.
Okay. If I have to, I'll pull up the Zoom room and me and you'll stay here. Actually, let me try doing that, TLO. I'm still here with you. I'm just pulling up Zoom. Give me 1 second.
Zoom may not be any better than StreamPlay, though.
Well, we had more successful.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
With getting people to show video than what I did fucking yesterday. I don't want to join my audio.
I have a lot of pictures, but not too much video. Video takes up a lot on my phone, and my phone is old.
Yeah, I know your phone's old. I'm trying to find out how to share the Zoom room. No, that's not what I wanted, you stupid son of a bitch.
What? No, nothing's going on. I hear sirens, but nothing's going on right now, kitty.
How is Fat Cat doing?
He's been on guard duty.
It's even giving me issues on Zoom, not letting me log in.
Yeah, see, exactly. There's been a lot of problems with social media today, like, period. Like, I've even had trouble with Twitter. So.
My boy Pat's on here. Pat was at the protest last night. I'm going to send Pat a link information because TLO, I figured, you're on here with me every day when I'm covering the protest pretty much anyway. So TLO, the one thing I want to talk about is we've seen the big, a big fucking just, massive statewide protests. I wouldn't even say statewide. We're seeing nationwide.
Yeah, it's nationwide now.
And I'm going to bring Patrick on because Patrick was at the protest yesterday. I didn't see him. I was down at the protest, dude, and I wasn't even out my car. Wasn't even out the car for about 5 minutes. Say I was out the car for maybe 5-10 minutes. And dude, now we're hearing gunshots pop off outside.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we had last night, with the exception of a few shady cars and trucks. So
TLO, I'm going to interview you for a minute, if that's okay.
That's fine.
So you've been journaling for us all week.
Correct.
Since Monday. Nah, take that back. Tuesday. Almost a week now. You're our main key journalist on the ground when Scarlett cannot be there.
Absolutely.
So, and I know I've been asking you and Scarlett this, but I haven't been able to ask you guys this on air for a couple of days because I haven't done this. What is your feelings / thoughts on this? Like, with people burning shit down, this is my question, do you believe that the people that are burning shit down should be charged as criminals?
Well, absolutely. The only one I would take an exception would actually be, to be in all honesty, the third precinct.
So you guys are in the middle of downtown Canton where this shit's going on.
Yeah, we are. How do you switch it?
There's go to your cam/mic setting at the bottom and then flip the camera around. It'll say cam/mic. Oh. Turn your camera back on. Turn it back on. She shut her camera off on me. I just had her. They're working on it. You know what? Okay, there it is. And then I have Patrick. God, Jesus, I'm getting. It's going to be under your cam/mic. Or just turn your phone around for us where we can see it. So, Patrick, you were in the middle of the protest yesterday.
I sure was.
What was the feelings down there that you seen in Canton?
Smell like
If you have to
sausage.
just turn your phone around.
So you can.
Uh,
Hold on, Pat. This is the protest going on downtown. You can see that cars are blocked. How
yeah,
long?
that's going on.
You can
That's
you
going
can
on
see
tonight.
that there's cars in front of us. There's cars behind us honking their horns. There's people. You can kind of see the people.
Is it more peaceful, or do you guys feel tension down there?
It's more peaceful than anything right now.
Is there any police presence already, or is they kind of staying out of the way?
We can hear when we were farther back. We heard the sirens.
I mean, TLO, that's what we seen on Tuesday.
Indeed.
You know, we've been going back since Tuesday, you know, and Brittany asked me this question: why are the cops shooting at people and spraying people, you know, when they're not doing nothing, they're being what we would call peaceful? You know, and I wanted to answer that question, you know, that we had a couple perspective views instead of mine. TLO watched a 12-year-old girl get shot on Tuesday.
Correct.
You know, they're shooting these kids. And then on Friday, when Canton started protesting, they sprayed tear gas in a crowded area
Oh yeah.
with little kids.
There's a drone.
I figured that would be yeah.
Yeah, because last night was pretty peaceful as well.
When did the
It wasn't
cops
really.
start tearing it up, Pat?
We was down until 12:30.
Dude, I was down there about 10:30, 11. You know where the restaurant is right back there on Market?
Can't really get
Which
out.
one?
I can't.
The one where the ice skating rink is.
Yeah.
But
We're getting out of it because something's happening.
Tell that Brittany to be careful.
Yeah.
Like, look, you could see everybody.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Oh yeah. 'Cause
Everybody
we was all over.
stopped.
How long have you guys been sitting there?
Oh, most of the people are in their cars.
But how long have you guys been sitting in that area?
We've been traveling with these cars for well over a half hour.
You guys been trying to get out there for a half hour?
Yeah.
So we're kind of seeing this fucked up, you know, these people peacefully protesting, guys, you know, and we're seeing them peacefully protest. Yeah, you can see the people now. You can see the people now.
You can hear them.
What happened?
Pat, at any point last night, did the police start?
Not last night. It was pretty peaceful for the most part.
Dude, and I'm wondering how they were down on Market when I got sprayed.
Yeah, because we ended up closing down parts of 77 last night.
Oh, you were on the 77 crowd?
Yep. I got some pictures and a short video, like a 9-second video. But other than that,
I can pull up the picture that Patrick sent me. But, you know.
Oh, I sent it to him already? I sent it to you already? Okay.
And we're going to pull up a live video here in a minute once I get on Facebook. TLO, is Unicorn Riot still live?
I haven't checked in a minute.
I'm going to check.
I was just watching the local broadcast news.
So, TLO, and I want to check in with you in Minneapolis since you're right there. What is Governor Walz saying about this?
Well, not really too much at the moment.
Have they decided to scatter away?
Well, that's the question is it's very uncertain right now. I know for a fact that there are troops on the ground, and I don't mean actual military. I mean
We got
other
right back in it.
militias.
You guys are right back in it.
They straight having fun. They're straight having fun. Look at this.
Yeah, dude.
Don't intercept them, babe. I'm going to intercept. Please fucking go on.
Dude, yeah, as you can see, this is downtown Canton.
Now we're right in front with people have gas masks and everything. Like, you can see the people. We're not close enough, but you can see the people.
You said they have gas masks on?
They're on dusk. Like, the lines of cars and people.
No, I can tell you, you guys are on what? Is that Tusk or Market? You guys are coming on Market.
Some good music. There's some people.
Yeah, Tilo, look at that, dude. There's people everywhere down there. I wish I could be down there right now. I wish I could literally be live in this, walking with them. I'm charging my phone up actually right now. I'm going to try to see if I can get down there.
Why does Canton right now have a curfew?
We honked our horns a few times for them.
Canton's going to be protesting all week.
Yeah, but do they have a curfew on right now?
I believe Columbus does.
There's a little kid on the top of this car.
Of course there is. That's just fucking stupid.
This car up here.
So
No,
Unicorn,
there's a little kid with him.
so Unicorn Riot is live.
Well, yeah, I believe right now the main protesting body is on 35W
Oh, we're right in the front
between
of them now.
31st and I think Lake Street.
Hold on, I'm going to show you all what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. If I can get all these messages out to God for slipping freaking way. Hold on.
Like, there's the group. Part of it. There's part of it.
The uprisings in America that have happened even recently, right?
So this is TLO where they're at.
The north side, Jamal Clark. After he gets killed, what happens?
Yeah, and it sounds like a news report just came over that they're trying to start to arrest people because of the curfew. So we'll see how that pans out this evening.
Violence comes out in that community. I'm not sure if that's been documented very clearly, if psychologists have started to look at that. Yeah. But it seems like that's part of this grief process.
Yeah, TLO, that's right where he was killed.
Correctly, and it's not,
Yes, that's 38th in Chicago.
Because you can see the flowers people are laying down, the balloons people have laid down.
Yeah, they did a circle, tried to do a cleansing circle in the middle of the intersection.
For a lot of people, I think so. I'll talk louder. I think that
It's like a bit blended.
the problem is black people have never been allowed to be people.
So guys,
one person is crying.
I want to announce this real
We're
quick.
right in the middle of it.
Mel just messaged me.
We're right in the middle of it. There's nothing we can do now.
Oh, get that out of there. I don't want to full screen
We're
out
going
that.
straight down to us.
So guys, if you want to donate, go to freedomrevolution.com/back the protest. This will be a fund that we would donate either directly or through a vetted source to get folks affected by the protest, bail, food, protection gear. That way we can get the protesters stuff they need the most. I know the National Guard is deployed here in Ohio.
Well, that do matter.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting
Barraged with things, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were up in their face today. I was seeing videos of it. They were actually targeting a black military veteran, a black National Guardsman, which I don't think is okay because he's just doing his job. We know he doesn't want to be out there. Sorry, I'm trying to mute this down.
Hello.
My Zello is
No,
going
he
off.
was jumping on top like everybody else.
My Zello is going off. Speaking, guys, we have a Zello. It's Minneapolis Protest 2020 on Zello. If you guys want to go find the channel, Mel has the link. If she can post that in the chat.
They're kneeling, man.
They're what? You said they're
The
peeling?
protesters have been kneeling today.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's been kneeling today.
Correct.
Miami Police Department has also kneeled with protesters instead of coming out in riot gear.
Now,
And-
see, that's what is needed. That right there.
Got it.
Like, seriously, whoever is the chief
you
of
in it
police there in Miami County needs to get a fucking promotion because that's what we
Exactly.
need.
And
The whole
also-
thing of the matter is, you know, if the third precinct here in Minneapolis, if those cops were to actually just break the lines, actually just join the protesters themselves and say, yeah, this was effed up,
Get out of it.
you know how different
There's
this
no way to
all
get
would
out
have
of it.
played out.
Brittany, is there police
Get out of it.
presence?
All right, I'm hearing another helicopter nearby.
What's going on, Britt? Talk to me.
We get out of it so we could try and beat them.
Try to get, yeah, if you guys want to get out
Oh,
of there,
there it is.
I hear that. Also, guys,
There's the group.
Oh, God. Anonymous has came out with another video today. You know, these past 2 times we haven't seen Anonymous.
We're gonna get right behind the group.
Gosh damn, dude. You got
Hey, look.
helicopters. You got helicopters flying all over the place.
That's correct.
Here you go, Dwayne.
Oh my gosh, where the hell are y'all at? Are y'all still on Tusk?
Because it's everybody.
We're gonna watch a short video real quick. Anonymous came out today, yet again,
Yes, it's another video.
with another video. I sent the video to TLO. Now, TLO, it's been since November since we've seen Anonymous.
I believe, isn't
Babe,
it been
don't.
like 5 years since we've seen Anonymous?
Babe,
Last seen
don't.
Anonymous?
Like
Yeah.
your friend
So
was for-
the fact that Anonymous is coming out,
Go around, babe. You don't have to be able to get around them.
the fact that Anonymous has come out and spoken against the Minneapolis Police Department,
You
is
can't
bad.
because of those cards.
You know,
And we're right back in it again.
you guys ain't escaping that. I'm telling you all that now. There's no way you're gonna escape that.
We're right at the. We're right in the front.
Hold on, I'm trying to get the video from Anonymous. Give me a second.
Yeah, and by the way, that was a Huey that went by, so it definitely has some sort of, let's just say, personnel on specific specialized personnel on board.
Is this the video that Anonymous was sent? No. It's a video I posted. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find the video from Anonymous so we can watch it. Actually, let me go a better route because I've been posting stuff on the FRN page all day long. Speaking of that, guys, if you want to follow more stuff of what's going on, go to the Freedom Revolution Network page on business page on Facebook. We've been posting stuff out there today. Also, protesters have hit the White House. Antifa groups are supposed to be
Kneeling again.
They're going to. It's an act of peace. They're trying to show that they're there to mean no harm. You know, and this is what me and TLO were talking about Tuesday night while he was down in the middle of the protest, is that, you know, they're out there with their hands up. Oh my gosh, TLO, hold on a minute. I'm going to stop doing.
They're
Here's
kneeling
more.
right now.
Right. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to pull up another live video from the protest. It's, oh my God, is that Karen?
Again, as we say,
Probably.
a few people here.
Sounds
I'm
like
gonna-
her voice.
I'm going to pull my screen share back up. That's not Karen.
With their signs,
Sounds like her.
making their comments.
It's not Karen.
No, you're right.
But nothing
That's not our Karen.
from last night. Again, a much more
calm and quiet scene here in the South Loop.
Well, here's another contrast, Kate. Let's keep in mind the neighborhood that you're in has also been one of our most vibrant over the course.
And this is Chicago, guys, as you can see.
Every night, I believe it's
Correct. That's not this this block.
Yeah, this is in Chicago. Now we're seeing, you know, police presence in Minneapolis. We're seeing police presence in Chicago, Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati. Unfortunately, fortunately, Canton does not have a police presence yet, which I'm thankful for. But I do want to show this video from Anonymous, so I'm going to go to the FRN page on Facebook, and I'll kind of show you guys how to get there too. Once my computer catches up with me. Hold on, let me find the FRN page. Then I'll show you all what it looks like. That way you all know how to find it. So, hey, music off. Hey, music off while you're on here.
What?
I said, shut the music off. We can get hit with a copyright. Take it off. We'll get hit with a copyright. So, guys, this is how to find the FRN page on Facebook. You go to Facebook right here, and you'll see Freedom Revolution Network. We're a broadcasting and media company. I'm going to click the page, and this is what you guys will find. You guys are seeing my back end of this, actually. You're seeing my back end of this. Hold on. Okay, so TLO, I need you guys to be quiet for 1 minute because we're about to.
Like the rest of us. Otherwise, they will believe that they have a license to do whatever they want. You will claim that this is just the work of a few bad apples, but one of the
Give me a minute, guys.
stand by and do nothing while they commit offenses against the people they encounter, and the police departments like yours who refuse to prosecute these criminals as they would one of the citizens that they are sworn to protect. People have had enough of this corruption and violence from an organization that promises to keep them safe. After the events of the past few years, many people are now beginning to learn that you are not here to save us, but rather, you are here to oppress us and carry out the will of the criminal ruling class. You are here to keep order for the people in control, not to provide safety for the people who are being controlled. In fact, you are the very mechanism that elites use to continue their global system of oppression, and the world is finally starting to wake up to this, and they are becoming increasingly angry every time they see blood needlessly spilled without consequence. These officers must face criminal charges, and Officer Chauvin especially should face murder charges. Unfortunately, we do not trust your corrupt organization to carry out justice, so we will be exposing many crimes to the world. Dear Legion, expect us.
Now, TLO, you just watched that video, right? You watched that video. Oh, where'd TLO go? Where the hell did... Asshole. So, Brittany, did you watch that video that I just put up? You know, I'm gonna play this video one more time. I'm waiting for TLO to come back through. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna look for more videos. You guys, this is coming from Downtown Canton Live. I'm gonna look for more videos to play. Okay, this looks to be live. Where is this? This is Denver.
Everyone's gonna go that way with them.
Pointing out where they want the group to go, and now it appears from Air Tracker 7
All right, you guys, thank you for being with us. I'm going to bring you guys out of the stream. Hey. Hey. Mel, watch for them to come back. If they do, kick them. Oh, let me get TLO back here for a minute. Give me 1 second, guys. TLO unfortunately left me. I don't know if he's going to come back or not. I'm hoping he is. If so, I'm hoping TLO comes back into the stream with me, because it's just going to be me if that's the case. But guys, here's another video of the 4th day of protests in Denver. Now we're seeing that this is peace. This is a peaceful movement. I don't know if police presence
and I saw the same thing
is
that
involved.
mentioned before. Those people in that group who showed up with a gas mask, or who showed up with a shield. Actually, some people who showed up with a shield and carrying their gallons of milk. Where we're going exactly, I'm not sure. I may have just heard a glass break behind me. Again, so far, it's been peaceful, although it has been tense. Most of it, all afternoon and evening, has been a lot of walking, a lot of peaceful protesting. But we're going to continue to follow along this group to see how things go.
We would point out, though, that all of that happened before the curfew. It is now almost 8:20, almost 20 minutes after the curfew. And some people have been saying we have a right to protest and have our voices heard, even though there is a curfew. We want to go now to Lance Hernandez, who is also marching with these same protesters, to see what he's seeing. Lance, what are you hearing? What's the intention here? What are people saying?
Well, we're not hearing much about why they're here or what they're doing. We're just following along with them as they're taking pictures themselves.
Okay, we have TLO back. I'm going to pause this. TLO.
Yes.
You're back.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. I had way too many things trying to play at once. That's my fault, TLO.
It's all right.
So TLO, we were just showing the screen from Denver, Colorado. And so far they're saying they're actively, peacefully protesting, and nothing has gone on yet.
Yeah.
It looks like there's thousands upon thousands of people on the streets. We're seeing peaceful protests on the street hopefully right now we're seeing peacefulness happen in Minneapolis. We're not seeing much police presence, but they're seeing a shit ton of military presence from what I've been hearing all day. TLO, can you shed light on that?
Well, I can't shed any light on what's happening in another state, but I can tell you that there's a little bit of an increased military presence here, but nothing drastic.
Nothing drastic has happened yet?
Correct. Like right now, there's a couple of Hueys that are flying around, probably moving certain personnel back and forth, but and I believe I just saw a push notification from our local Fox 9 News that was saying that they were trying to arrest people for the curfew.
Right.
Of course, we'll see how well that pans out.
Right. And we have an active curfew, which is now here at 10 o'clock. Which is at 10 o'clock, mind you, shall I say. We see this curfew hit. In TLO, we know that's not going to hold these people back from peacefully protesting.
Correct.
TLO, if you want to, you can turn your camera back around, Goofy.
I am. My thing, I have to do it in steps.
So we're seeing we're trying to see a peaceful protest going on, but then but we want to see our rights not be infringed.
Correct.
We have the right to our First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, press, and religion. And we see that TLS had to break out the wine.
Indeed.
Which I cannot blame you at this point. You guys went through 5 nights of fire.
That's correct.
5 nights of burning flame. At TLO, at one point, it seemed it really worried you yesterday because this was hitting towards your mom's area.
Yes, they attempted to start the Sheraton Hotel that's located on just off of Chicago and Lake Street, and they attempted to start the Midtown Global Market on fire as well. And the reason why that's concerning is because above the Midtown Global Market here, there are a large amount of residents, apartments, condos, and families. So,
right. How did that make you feel, Tilo, knowing that was hitting your mom's area and that you've had to arm up?
Oh, well, I mean, I already was in the process of arming up. I just was concerned about my family just because my mother is strong, but she vastly underestimates the power of she doesn't know how to quite read the room is what I'd like to put forth, and I'm using that analogy from someone that used to be in my life, and she also has wisdom.
Right.
At the moment, a little questionable, but anyways, but yeah, she would always say, read the room. And my mother sometimes, I don't know, she doesn't necessarily read the room because, full disclosure, my mother is definitely of a older, like the sort of hippie generation. She's in her 60s. She lived through all that and stuff like that. And she definitely was one of the pioneers due to the fact that, in the 70s, while it was still illegal on the books, she decided to have relations with a black man. And, well, here I am. But sometimes she doesn't necessarily see the big picture because she lives her life a certain way, and it's somewhat off-grid. Yeah, I would say like a city off-grid system. Because she home teaches my younger brothers. Both are going off to college. She works from home now due to injuries from a car accident. And so she doesn't necessarily go out. She doesn't necessarily go and see movies. She doesn't travel out to shopping malls, that sort of thing. So she doesn't necessarily see what goes on and say, a lot of people's everyday lives. And so sometimes I don't know if she necessarily has her finger on the pulse of what actually is going on because she lives a very myopic view.
Right. So with this going on and it's hit your area, it's unfortunately hitting mine and my mom's area. No, I was just saying it's hitting our area.
It's in Columbus. It's 2 hours a week from us.
It's not just in Columbus no more. You didn't know?
I know about the protest in Canton and Louisville and stuff, but the violence is not around us right now.
Yeah, we haven't got hit with violence. I know last night I got sprayed, which unfortunately sucked. But it's it's the consequence of it's the action of going out there when we had an idiotic person on the FRN page say today that good, we deserve to get sprayed, we deserve to get shot, but as a media production company, that goes out and documents this stuff, we don't deserve to get shot up, tear gas, and sprayed.
And a lot of Cantons, from what I've seen
Nor do 12-year-olds.
Exactly.
On the post, Cantons was led by an officer. They had a
12-year-olds who are actually like doing something probably more patriotic than even say the fucking cops that shot him.
Right.
Because the 12-year-old's out there protesting, like making her voice heard. Like think about that, people. It's like this young person who's nowhere near close to the age of voting is out there and trying to do what she can to try and change the world around her. That's some pretty ballsy stuff right there, if you ask me.
Right. And like my mom just said though too.
I don't know.
Nope, another Huey up above.
Dude,
up above.
Dude, you got National Guard coming in like no tomorrow.
Yes, that's a big ass helicopter, isn't it, Garfield? Noisy one too. I wonder why he's creeping though. That's the one thing that's somewhat disconcerting. Because for a helicopter, he's not going very fast.
I heard that I heard from your guys' Major General of the National Guard yesterday. The National Guard is all in.
Oh yeah. All right, now I see a second helicopter off in the distance.
National Guard has not deployed like this in the States since World War II, since Pearl Harbor.
Correct. Granted, that was for things we probably don't want to talk about in detail on air, but
No, I'm not afraid to say it. We haven't had National Guardsmen since we were bombed December 7th, 1941.
Correct. But the reason why we had National Guardsmen is because we started rounding up some of the Japanese American citizens at that point.
Right.
That's why we were fully mobilized for World War II. Because obviously, I don't know, I'm sorry. Obviously, they didn't have ICBMs back then, Like, the only way you could actually invade America or do something to America would to actually land forces here. Either amphibious. Oh, I would say that is a third helicopter that's going overhead in the last 6 minutes. So we are starting to businesses starting to pick up. That's because I believe they were starting to try and arrest protesters, and they were being pretty peaceful. Yes, they were yelling at people, but I mean, as I've said, and even on my Instagram, I said there's reasons why people are angry. There really are, and they're justified reasons. It's like you sit there and you ask why. It's like, well, I'm sorry. If the roles were reversed and say for, hundreds of years, the black man was in charge and the black man had oppressed you and like kept you from doing anything at all, and like kind of started to let up a little bit and give you a few freedoms here, a few freedoms there, kind of to string you along and to kind of keep you in like a complacent mood. But yet then there's this one thing where totally outrageous instant, and it starts a whole chain event like we're seeing today. You would understand, because you would know at that point, like, oh wait, yeah, like it would suck to go about your life and the lives before yours, like my father's and his father before his, and then just generationally, you sit there and consider the fact that this has been going on for decades, if not hundreds of years. Well, obviously it was worse at a certain point, but for a long time we have been sold this story that the great American dream is if you try hard, work hard, and just pursue your dreams, that you can achieve everything. But for the minorities, like, it's not even close to the same fucking, thing. Just to be honest, and to drop some F-bombs on y'all, it's just not the same deal. We can aspire, we can do a lot of things, and there's smart ass, black people out there. You know, you look at what's his face, the scientist. You know, Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know, he is, you know, super smart. You know, and there's definitely black people who are successful, like Denzel Washington, and you know, decent black actors and whatnot. Poets, artists, people who do Broadway. Um, you know, it's there's a lot of capable people, but yet it's a lot harder for us to try and achieve those goals than say other people in the world. And
Right.
you know, it's not necessarily just breaks down to the black and white thing, but in this instance and for this country specifically, it does. I mean,
Yep.
it doesn't apply for the whole world, and that's the whole thing. Is like one thing cannot apply for the whole entire thing.
You okay?
I mean, just like today, I saw something that was beautiful, and some people would probably be maddened by it, but it's something that I believe came out of East Coast. But it was a picture, and it was a guy, a police officer who was in SWAT gear, you know, during chaos and whatnot, got separated from his people, you know, the rest of his folks and whatnot, and basically he was about to get lynched. You know, it was about to be a modern day lynch, to be honest. And I'm talking about, I'm using that as a black man, as far as black people with a white man. They were about to do their own street justice on his ass. But a group of black men came in and formed a line around him and protected him.
The police officer?
Yeah.
The police officer. Because it's true. Like, let's be real. Like, in my heart, I hate the 3rd precinct. I was happy as hell when that motherfucker went down. But I don't sit there and say or assume that every police officer that came out of there is a piece of shit.
You know what?
Because that's wrong. That is just straight wrong.
You know, and
it's more the actual institution that I'm fighting against, not the people themselves.
I will. You know, and I seen on Facebook today, and I posted this in the FRN page. You know, there was cops out in riot gear, and you know they weren't doing nothing. And this black man came up to one of the riot police officers, had his, you know, he had his shield up, you know, his baton away, and he came out and he said, "Can I pray with you? Can I hug you?" You know, and all the cops gathered around in prayer and hug. You know, and he went like, "I'm not here to hurt anybody." And you know, this is the cool thing that I heard from the cop, from the police officer. He went like, "I am not here to hurt anybody. I am just here to make sure that nobody gets hurt and nothing gets destroyed." And he said, "If you'd start destroying shit, you know," he went like, "You know,"
that's when we have problems.
He went like, "If you start destroying shit, yes, then I will shoot you. I don't care if you're black, white, or Mexican. I'm not going to let you destroy my city." He went like, "I understand that y'all are mad about the death of George Floyd, but that does not mean you can take it out on other states and other cities when this was not in our state. I get everybody wants justice for this man because this video went worldwide. But the fact is, he's like, I don't hate anybody here." He went like, "Yes, I am a black man. You know, I am a black man, and I've been on both ends of the ball." But he said, "You know what? I want order just as y'all do. Stop hurting us." He went like, "Stop trying to kill police officers and shit. Come together as, you know, within peace, and maybe we can all get along."
Well, there has to be steps, but we can get along as long as there's steps that are put in place.
You know,
that's the whole deal. Is like there's always talk about trying to just get along and let people's feelings play out and like the hurt heal and stuff like that. But the real ultimate healing would be actually to deal with the shit that's in front of us, which is that the police force itself has been institutionalized to degrade and treat a lot of the minorities in the world as basically criminals before, during,
right,
and after interactions with said police force.
You know, and TLO, you know, like too, like I know me and Scarlett's had this debate together. You know, and this is how I personally feel. Not all cops are bad cops. And the
Correct.
reason I can say that is because I have experienced this in both cities. You know, when I got sprayed last night, it was by the regional SWAT unit. And it was one cop that I knew out of here to the city of Massillon. After he sprayed me, you know, I had a vest on, you know, I had a green vest on, you know, and he went like, Dwayne? I went like, yeah, I know, and I'm not going to reveal the officer's name on air. I'm not going to say department from what he's from. He's just, I locally know him between the districts that are here. You know, and he put milk on my face. You know, he made sure it got in my eyes so I can wash my eyes out. You know, and like these cops are actually taking care of people. I seen Tilo in your area. They shot, I think it was a black man in the head, and they saw that he passed out, and they helped him. It was either in your area or in another area, and he passed out and stopped breathing, and they started doing CPR. You know, here's the thing. If that's a crooked cop, you know, if that was a crooked cop, Tilo, they would have never done that.
Correct.
You know,
they
so
just left him lying there.
Right. Give me a minute as I grab the ashtray real quick, Tilo. I'm just walking across the room for a second. You know, but here's my thing is, you know, we have good cops, and you know, I'll use for instance, yet again, I'm gonna use my mother in this. When my mom had a seizure 3 years ago, me and my sister were assaulted. You know, when the cops got here, you know, because dispatch could hear it, you know, one of our officers asked if we were okay and where was the guy at. And he went right next door to our house and he asked him, how many times did Teddy get out the house? He had every right to push you out the house. And he went like, if you go back over there and I see you over there starting shit, me and you are going to go fucking rounds. Leave them alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And part of that's, I take responsibility. Part of that's my fault because I freaked out and went next door. You know, but the fact is that we have communities. Like I'm going to use again for example, Miami Police Department, TLO, where we know where it's one of the most crime-rated cities in the state of Florida.
And probably one of the more corrupt police forces in the state of Florida as well. Let's just be real.
Right, but they came out and kneeled with the people.
And see, as I was saying before, you know, all this and the live and whatnot, that's the kind of thing that we need. And to be honest, if the police force at the 3rd Precinct would have laid down their shields and batons and came out with the protesters and put their hands up with them, I don't think shit would have burned. Let's just be real. I don't think shit would have burned.
That's what my mom said.
But that's the kind of shit, that's the kind of show that we need from the police force, not them coming out, you know, all hard ass and like, oh, we're going to, you know, shoot you and shoot innocent people and shoot into a crowd and hit a fucking 12-year-old. You know, we're going to come out and say, you know, what happened was wrong. And we totally agree with you because we're supposed to be from this community and protect and serve this community. So
I bet you the only reason they did that because all 4 officers were inside that fucking precinct.
Well, yeah, and to be honest, that precinct has been heavily corrupted for a very, very long time. I mean, before I even really understood any of this shit going down. So,
you know, and Tilo, me and you had a phone call the other day, you know, because I didn't understand most of this. You know, I was just doing my job, you know, as a reporter and as a journalist and as a host. That's another helicopter.
This is very interesting. This is about the 3rd or 4th time this guy has come over around my area. And he's doing slow surveillance. I can definitely tell that. He doesn't have a spotlight on, so my guess is he's using infrared and thermal.
Right. But
But
Tila,
he
me and
is
you,
slowly going over my neighborhood at the moment.
right, and Tila, me and you had this conversation on, I believe it was yesterday. We had this conversation with each other. You know, I didn't understand why 99%. I want to say 90% of this. I didn't understand that 50% of this is going on until I dug into Martin Luther King Jr. You know, you remember the phone call we had yesterday morning?
Yes.
Yesterday afternoon. You know, I didn't understand the burning and shit until I dug in with Martin Luther King Jr. And I started researching his shit. And yes, even though nothing was burnt down during the protests at MGK, not MGK, MJK, no, MLK. Sorry, I'm getting my fucking words mixed up.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. But when MLK and his protesters went out, but he even said in one of the posts I read the other night, he went like, the riot has to happen for people's voice to be heard.
Yeah, riot is the language of the people who are unheard. That's actually been on a lot of graffiti up and down Lake Street, to be honest.
And it's sad enough, Tilo, when I walk out of my house now, and I'll show it, I have to carry this on me everywhere I go.
Oh, I carry a couple of those. And a throwing star and a couple of maces.
I have to carry a knife out everywhere I go because of the fact I don't know when a riot's going to hit, or I don't know when the police are just going to decide to be stupid.
Correct.
Never what I said.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, especially if I'm sitting there and not doing anything, and I'm sorry, if the police are coming at me, I'm going to defend myself because they have no fucking right to be coming after me if I'm not doing anything.
And every time I see a police officer turn on, someone from Anonymous that I'm friends with on my Facebook page, every time a cop passes by TLO, I have my camera on.
That's very good because, to be honest, a lot of shit and part of it that stems into what's happened or transpired for a long time here in Minnesota, especially in Minneapolis, and specifically certain precincts, is the bending of the rules, because there's actually been a few times we're supposed to have our officers with the body cams on. There's been numerous times where they've had that shit turned off for some reason, and they come up with some sort of excuse and it just flies, and that's the kind of bullshit that we're talking about. That's the kind of corruption. That's the kind of reason why this city started burning, is because we've been given this song and dance that if we just calmly protest and we all get together in some meetings and try and work shit out, that things are going to change. But it never does. It never does.
Right, Tilo, you're going to laugh at this. Okay? Anonymous hacked Chicago Police Department's radios and played MWE's Fuck the Police during the protest.
That's definitely the kind of shit I like.
Anonymous. We haven't seen Anonymous in 5 years.
That's because he's pissed. He's like, this is stupid. Like, seriously, like, people are blatantly getting murdered in the streets by the people that are sworn to protect them. Like, do you know how gross that is? Like, literally, that we're basically living in a fascist state then.
Right, and
he's
it's
basically an SS officer, people. Like,
right.
Research. Like, look at history.
And it's bad enough we have somebody from Anonymous coming and asking for Becca's live footage from yesterday to where Anonymous can use it in a video.
Well, I'll just put it out there. I've always been in the corner of Anonymous because he's always been on the champion of the truth and making sure it's known. And that's what's important to me. I look at the news these days and it just lights my fires because I'm like, wow, like the way that they present the truth, because to be honest, most of the time they do present the truth, but they skew it in a way to serve what sort of message they want it to serve. And that's the stuff that gets to me. I'm just like, really? And I hope other people in the world can pick up on that sort of stuff, but I know that a lot of people don't. Because I'm sorry, a lot of the news channels, and it's not the Democrat or liberal or the MSNBCs versus the Fox News, they all skew it a certain way to serve whatever sort of agenda or whatever sort of motives they have in mind. So whoever knows whatever agendas they have in mind is what is the actual background of that. But the fact that they all do it, and then, you know, people sit there and they kind of eat it up, and it's scary, because I believe in the human race, and I don't want them to all be kind of just suckers for whatever, you know, kind of floats around out there, because especially right now in the world we live in, a lot of it is very suspect indeed. And so you have to take everything with a grain of salt. I mean, just like with the protests, just the other day, I give kudos to our local Fox 9 affiliate for yesterday's coverage of the, I would say, rallies. They weren't even protests, but a lot of people had come together and were just being cool together and just showing support for George Floyd. And it was cool that Fox 9 was paying high attention to that. They're also paying attention to the fact that the governor and the mayor had both come out like hours before this had all gone on and said, you know, all the buildings had burned because of outside agitators, and, you know, you have all these people that are being shipped in from outside of the state that are causing this chaos. And Fox 9 was just straight and poignant, and they're just like, no, that's absolutely wrong. Like, we look at the arrest records from 10 p.m. last night, Friday night, to 10 a.m. in the morning, and basically 80 to almost 90% of the people were from Minnesota. Granted, not everybody was from the Twin Cities area, but everybody was pretty much in-house, you know? And so for our leaders, our government leaders, to sit there and say, you know, it's these people that are being bussed in, these people that are like outside agitators. Don't get me wrong, because they're out there. I saw some of them motherfuckers, some of them skinheads, some of them fascist motherfuckers out there, some of those right-wing bitches that are just all about white is right and all that. And I have no time for that, man. I have no time for that. Okay. I saw them running around in their, you know, hopped up trucks and whatnot. All right, yet another pass with that same military helicopter. This isn't even a police helicopter. This is a military helicopter. So something, as they like to say, or as they told the press to refer to them here in Minnesota, this must be some sort of ongoing mission. They like to call them missions and not, you know, hot spots or places where trouble is brewing. But yeah, I'm staring right at this guy. He's about, I'd say, 3-4 blocks away, and he's heading west, past Hiawatha, going towards Lake Nokomis. If anybody is, you know, as scrupulous or as OCD and high maintenance as to be looking at a Google's map while on air with us tonight. And now he's heading north, I'd say parallel to about 24th. Right. But no, they're looking for something in this neighborhood right now, like presently.
In TLO, this is a message from Anonymous. We are anonymous. We will no longer be silent. You should have expected us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we know he's here, and he's going to be making his fucking voice heard as well. Because this is the time. This is when people's eyes are on the media, on social media, on the networks, on cable television, everything. The eyes of the world are watching right now. And so if you have a message, get it out. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm writing shit down right now that I am most likely going to have or try and have an opportunity to get out there. And I'm talking about like mainstream.
Yep. You know, and guys,
I actually am proposing to meet with the governor and with the mayor and try and go live with something, because I need to have my voice heard and I need to tell them what's up and drop all the bullshit and all this and that. And it's like, if you really want Minneapolis to heal, if you really want Minnesota to heal, if you really want the nation to heal, because it's now spread to all corners of this nation, we need to all get on the same page, and we need to stop the bullshit. Stop all this pedantic, oh, let's handhold, let's sing kumbaya, let's get together and this and that. No, like, seriously, face up to it. Like, we need a fundamental change in our police academies or how they're trained or whatnot. I personally, this is one of my thoughts. I believe that anybody who serves in the military should not be allowed, I repeat, should not be allowed to serve as a police officer.
Come on.
Because they are trained to look at people as enemy combatants. And I'm going to put this out there, and a lot of people don't want to hear this, and it might offend people, but these people are coming back from war zones where they have everybody coming after them. They have little kids with freaking grenades in their hands coming at them. So they will suffer PTSD if they are serving in a capacity such as a police officer. You know, if they see a kid running with a toy, they might have flashbacks at that moment, and it takes him back to a bad place and a bad instance, and he might pull the trigger. You know, I believe the police force should be mainly the people who are here, and definitely not people who have been militarily trained to engage basically everybody else besides whoever's with them in their military units as enemy combatants, because that's, to be honest, what has happened, what has developed this culture of, you know, oppression. Oh my goodness. Yeah, whoever they're looking for is like within blocks of me, because this is at least the 7th or 8th time that this guy, and now he is like hovering, so I can almost see his fucking tail call sign. All right.
Right. You know, and like, I'm going to say this on air. We are going to back Anonymous so much. You know, the person I'm communicating with out of Anonymous, from the Anonymous group, knows Mel. He's going to share it out there for us, you know, our streams and everything. But here's my thing. Becca, he's not biased. This is a free... This is a fuck, I can't even say the word I want to. Free speech protest. Not free speech protest. God damn it. Free speech network.
There we go.
Sorry, guys, if my mind's all fucking rattled all over the fucking place. This is day number 7 for me, okay? Day number 6 of covering these protests. Covering them since Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Day number 6. That we're seeing this. Sorry, guys. Scarlett's texting me as well. I'm not tired. I'm more in awe than anything. If you guys seen on my sermon on Saturday, and then my sermon on my page, you can kind of see I'm also looking at this from a biblical event. You know, and I'm seeing this from a biblical perspective because I've done some religious digging. You know, into every religious background. You know, in each religious book, it says that this right here is going to happen. You know, Matthew 24 states, you know, religion is going to go against, nation's going to go against nations. You know what, Bonnie? And you're right. TLO is deep and wants to do something about the situation instead of sitting. He is a doer, not a complainer or a shrinking violet. You know, and I'll pull that up, TLO, so you can see that from Bonnie.
Thank you, Bonnie.
You
I
know,
appreciate that.
TLO is tired of it. He's lived in Minneapolis, what, TLO, 20 plus years?
All my life, born and raised.
And you know, and this will make you cry a little bit, TLO. Hey.
Oh, I'm paying attention. I'm just watching all the helicopters maneuver out here. It's almost like a fucking ballet.
Oh my gosh. Bonnie said love you, TLO.
I love you too, Bonnie. Thank you.
Oh, whoa. Okay, I need to go back to that live feed. White House has been breached. The White House, guys, has been breached.
Let that resonate with everybody who's listening.
They breached the White House.
If I was just let's just be real, and obviously whoever it was that Dwayne said I was biased. You know, this isn't just about me being a whiny little Negro, okay? Like, seriously. A lot of people are upset because it's been a systematic oppression, and it's not just a white-black thing. It is just in general police, because I've known plenty of people who are white, who are Asian, who have been oppressed by the police force.
Right.
It's not just, black, white.
It's
about the institution.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Go ahead.
Denver protesters are now being met with police force.
Yeah, weren't they just last night?
They were peace till now. Look at that. They're now.
I could have sworn they were shooting pepper gas into the crowds in Denver.
They were yesterday with Becca, yes. Because we've had two hosts sprayed. You know, I've been sprayed and Becca got hit with gas. Becca is currently sick.
And I almost caught a rubber bullet.
And TLO was maybe an inch and a half away of being contacted in the neck.
Yeah, it would have hit my jugular if I was about an inch over.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, when they were indiscriminately shooting into a crowd that was doing nothing more but having their arms up. And yeah, there's a few people that are angry and upset, and they're yelling at the police. And yeah, once in a while, not all the time, but once in a while, somebody from way in the back was getting a chip on their shoulder and they would throw something. But the entire night, they indiscriminately shot into the crowd rubber bullets. Not in response to being a bottle thrown at them, but just every so often they would shoot into the crowd. And as I was reporting, there's kids there. There's 12-year-olds. And just like the 12-year-old who actually did get pegged in her side, she is out there and being more patriotic than any of you doubters out there. Any of you people who say I'm biased. She was more patriotic than a lot of us put together, because she's a 12-year-old who is out there and doing the most patriotic thing that she could do, which is using her First Amendment rights.
Come on.
Even before it actually matters. She is like 12, maybe 13 tops. She can't even vote, but she is trying to do what she can as an American citizen.
And I want to say this
participate in our freaking government, and it blows my mind.
Right, and I want to say this too. Unfortunately, we've lost another life to the hands of the police. I'm gonna fucking cry here for a minute. Oh, this is from July 31st. I just want to give you guys, we lost a life back. Yeah, sorry. We lost a life to July 31st of 2019 last year. He asked for police help. They told him to stay on the ground where he was handcuffed and withering. He said he was afraid the officers would kill him. They told him to relax. He asked for help again. They kept him pinned, his face in the grass, a knee on his back. He asked again. Then Tony Timpa went unconscious in less than 20 minutes. He was dead. The group of Dallas police officers detaining Timpa didn't seem to notice he was dying in front of them. They didn't check whether he was breathing. They didn't look for a pulse. Instead, the officers laughed. They mocked the way he squirmed around, clearly in distress, like a roly-poly, one said. Guys, if I don't fucking know about you, and the sad thing is, this is a fucking white man.
Exactly. That's my point. That for me, it isn't just a white-black thing. The white-black thing is a very heavy component in it, but it's just the function of our police force, just from top to bottom, regardless of race. In itself, the apparatus carries out injustices on an everyday basis, okay? To whites, to blacks, to Asians, to natives, it doesn't matter. You know, people are oppressed by the police force because I'm going to put it out there. They're bullies with badges. And a lot of them are indoctrinated that way. You know, just like if you go into the armed services, you are indoctrinated to become an instrument, a weapon of destruction. You really are. And that's why it's hard for people when they come back from that to try and decompress, try and become like a regular human being or a regular civilian and not have that fight or flight kick in. And, you know, you go into like soldier mode.
Right. And I want to ask a question too, and I'm going to turn my brightness down. How many cops does it take to one fucking black man?
Oh yeah, that's always a funny thing. Like I've been in instances where, you know, they've broken up fights with me when I was, you know, in security, and I, you know, I'll be honest, I was being a little heavy-handed, but that's just because of the circumstances. I've never been heavy-handed when I perform my security job. I've never been heavy-handed. I would put my hand on a Bible or whatever if you wanted to. I'm not religious that way, but you know, whatever you'd want, I'd go out under a poly. But I've never gone out of my way to hurt people unless there's an instance where they were blatantly, disgustingly hurting somebody else.
And I want to address Becca real quick too, TLO. Do you know what? Parents have a fucking right to take their kids to a protest.
Absolutely.
It's not that 12-year-old shot.
Absolutely. They are showing what it is to be a true American. And for you to say or question that is kind of ridiculous, because it's like, don't you want our children to know how the apparatus of our government works?
If my son was 15
or do you just want them to be dumb sheeple? Like that's my response to this person.
I'm gonna move downstairs here in a minute. I'm going back upstairs. And here's my thing, Teal, and I'll say this: if my son was 15 years old and my son asked me to go to a protest, I would definitely look at him and say yes. But I would explain the consequences to him first of going to a protest.
Correct. Absolutely. You explain everything. Yeah, you'd say this is how it goes. More times than others, protesters do get hurt because they're trying to use their voice, because their voice has been unheard. That's the reason why they're protesting, people. That's the fundamental reason, is they feel their voice has been unheard.
Right.
Okay?
And like
it doesn't matter black, white, political backgrounds, whether you're liberal, Democrat, whatever, red, white, whatever. What it comes down to is just standing for what's right. And if we're, you know, to be free country, and I'm sorry, you know, just like he said, I totally believe that, you know, my daughter, I would want to participate to whatever facilities, whatever capability that she can at whatever age, as far as if she wanted to, in our political system. whether it be learning it, whether it be actually like running for a student government body or whatnot. But just if they want to learn, what is the issue? You know, why wouldn't you want your child to look at a protest or participate or see what's going on? Like, that's what I don't get. It's like, yes, it's dangerous, but life is dangerous. When you send your kids off to fucking school nowadays, it's dangerous. They could be swept up off the bus corner. Like, seriously, there's dangers everywhere, people. You know, you have to pick your fights. You have to just mind your surroundings. One of my
Hey,
big
PLL,
things.
I'm going to mute myself real quick and call Mel and see if she can give me more info on that White House thing.
All right.
But you can keep going on your soapbox. You're good.
Well, I'm going to have to move this inside as it's past 10 o'clock. Move inside to the theater room, as it were, watching the Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Part 1. You know, for some reason, just kind of felt that I needed to watch that. But no, I don't know. That one, I don't know. Personally, I don't mean to keep going on or, excuse me, harping on this person, but I mean, seriously, my mother had me at protests when I was like, what, 8, 9 years old, because she wanted me to see people participating in our government, because that is part of our government. Protesting is part of our constitutional right. It's in there, you know, making our voices heard. And so, you know, if you want to bring your child so that they can see firsthand, there shouldn't be any issue with that at all. You know, there shouldn't be hard feelings. There shouldn't be, I mean, obviously there's concern, but as I said, like nowadays, like, especially here in Minnesota, I don't know what it is, but there usually is a lot of kids that get swept up off their fucking bus corners. Like, there really is. So, I mean, number 1, Jacob Wetterling. Bam.
Yep. Come on, TLO. You ain't never lied, though.
For real. So I know about all that. You know, I want my young people out there to know that there are dangers. But in another way, I also don't want my young people to be so sheltered that I hear that there are certain places in the United States, certain, I don't know if it's counties, certain school system districts or whatnot, that they don't even let the kids out for like recess anymore, because they're that afraid of somebody coming along and taking the kids, or they're that afraid that a kid might scrape his knee or do something on the playground to hurt themselves, because they're that scared of the liabilities or whatnot. You got to let kids be kids. You got to let them run around. If you stifle that, you start to stifle who they are and what it is to be human, to be honest. Because when you're a kid, you're playful. You explore, you climb shit, you get into shit, you do shit that you probably really shouldn't. That's why you're sitting there and saying, "Get down from there." You know, you hear all the parents like, "Put that down." You know, "Don't put that in your mouth." All of that. You know, it's because they're kids. They're curious. They're trying to figure the world out around them. You know, their environment. And so a lot of this weird, overly protective and sheltered things, I think it's a detrimental thing. Like, I totally get it. I know in the day and age we live in, where there's a lot of kids that get swept up, it's hard. But I remember the day and age when kids just ran around on just whatever block. Nowadays it would be the cul-de-sac, but like just up and down the block, just doing whatever. And yeah, there was bad shit that happened, but if you taught your kid to mind their surroundings, like my mother did, you know, there was a lot of shit that happened around me as a kid, but I knew to just just be aware and just realize that, oh, you know, this guy is being threatening, and like these two, you know, adults are all of a sudden going to start swinging on each other. I should probably move away from the situation. And this is me assessing that as like a 6-7-year-old, you know? And that's the kind of thing I want, or I hopefully want, like our new generation to have, but they don't, because a lot of people have kind of sheltered people, have sheltered their kids, have kind of shied away from telling them about a lot of the bad things that have happened in this world. I know some people who haven't even told them, who have told their kids about what has transpired in this last week. Their children do not know anything at all. And we're not, and we're not talking about like kids. We're talking about like 11, 12-year-olds, you know, because there's still plenty of people that have not left their places of shelter. You know, there's still people that are that fearful of the virus that they have yet to leave their domiciles. There's 2 or 3 people where I work, in the place that I work, that I watch over, that basically get all their groceries shipped in, all of their supplies shipped in, and they probably have not stepped foot out of their actual physical living space for the last 2 to 3 months. And so there's people out there that are like that, and who have kids that have no idea what's going on. There's probably even adults that are out there that don't even know what's going on, or are that sheltered. You know, I know there's a lot of people that may or may not have internet. I know it's crazy. I know a lot of people out there be like, oh, what? People don't have internet? But yes, people don't have internet. It is something that's widely available, but not everybody has access. Okay, just like education, just like resources, just like everything else. All right.
Right. So Tilo, you know, like.
All right, I'm starting to hear some heavy sirens. We'll see which way they're going. All right, looks like southbound. Oh my.
Fire?
It's something decent, because we got fire trucks accompanied by police, accompanied by National Guard Humvees, and at least one. Oh my God, they even had a troop carrier. And the chief of fire, and another Humvee. So at least a dozen vehicles going southbound on Hiawatha, out past 46, so heading towards the airport. But yeah, that was a pretty decent or intense convoy. I'll put that out there, because there's a lot of vehicles a part of that.
You know, so Tilo, my next question is to you, okay?
Oh, there's still more. Oh shit, those are the feds. Blacked out Suburbans. About 4 of them. Oh my. All right, so business is still picking up here in Minneapolis. Just to be honest, you know, and that's kind of what I thought would happen. So this is probably what's going to go down, since it is hitting that magical hour of 10 o'clock Central Time here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Most of the shit that's gone down has predominantly gone down between 8 p.m. and 12 a.m. And so a lot of the people here on the ground here in Minneapolis, the neighborhoods, the neighborhood people, the communities, we all were pretty much in agreement that Saturday night was going to be pretty much dull and quiet. But had a sneaky suspicion that Sunday night stuff would pick up. Either Sunday or Monday night stuff would pick up. That there would be a lull. Like they would try and like get, you know, the governor, the government, all the police people to kind of like relax a little bit by, oh, hey, you know, now that we have this big police and National Guard presence, you know, shit isn't going to pop off. And so they kind of lower their defenses. See, I was trying to tell somebody about this earlier today, that it's all like chess. or like it's similar to the Hunger Games with the Plutarch, the game master, played by rest his soul, Philip Seymour Hoffman, great actor. He said it's about moves and counter moves. And so the people who are actually out there doing the nasty shit, because there are players out there that are doing really icky shit. They're taking advantage of this situation. They're taking advantage of the chaos. And, you know, there are people who are out there to just sow chaos. And that's pretty much in whatever block, whatever community, whatever race, gender, blah, 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 species, political background. There are certain people that just want to cause trouble. So most of us in the community here in Minneapolis knew that Saturday would be kind of like the lull, kind of like, oh, well, you know, let's not do anything. Let's gather our own resources. You know, I'm speaking on behalf of said, you know, dissidents, if you want to put it that way. Let's wait it out and then kind of like sneak around and then pop back up again. You know, because there are people legitimately out there protesting, people legitimately mad and angry about what happened to George Floyd, what happened to the 197. That is going to be my new number, 197 people killed by police in Minnesota for the last 20 years.
Oh my God.
Don't even have to get into any other detail besides that. Boom. Enough said. 197.
I'm going to say this. I'm looking on my buddy's Facebook page because I'm gathering news to cover some of the protests. Here's the thing. When you start burning a fucking children's hospital,
Okay, yeah.
I draw the fucking line.
But that's what I'm saying. Those players are completely different than the people that are actually out there protesting. And even the ones like me who are angry. Don't get me wrong. What you have no ideas the tortures and pains that I would perform on that officer. I would make him suffer for at least 48 hours before I would have him begging me to let him die. Okay, people? But putting that aside, you know, there's certain things that you don't do, and this is agreed upon by a lot of people, including some of my brothers who do run the streets, who do run the block, even a few people that are connected to some underground, you know, organization elements. There's certain lines you don't cross, and one of them is definitely hospitals. And if you want to add in there a children's on top of that, yeah, no. Those fires are caused by people who are either out there just to sow chaos, or let us be truthful. Let us put everything on the table and let us be real for a moment. It's also people who go home and jerk off after they set a fire.
Right.
Let's just be real. There's some arsonists out there that might be taking advantage of this situation. So let's put it all on the table.
I'm going to interrupt you for a minute here, okay? So it is proven that Trump has been whisked away under, you know, to an underground bunker during White House protests.
Of course. That's standard operating procedures for any time that like the White House, any of the perimeters get breached, is they put them in the bunker.
The Secret Service escorted President Trump to an emergency bunker underneath the White House on Friday as hundreds gathered in front of his residence. So he's been in there for a couple days.
It's probably the longest he's been in there. I would just put that out there.
Well,
because he likes to travel around and he doesn't like to necessarily stick in office.
Right. And I got raw footage for you guys too from Scarlett, so y'all can thank her later. I have no rights to this video, but this is from Miss Scarlett Anonymous. that gave us raw footage today of this.
Everybody, listen up. Everybody pay attention. Look. That's just it. Hey, right now. Hey. We got the person who is driving the semi, and this is directly that is on his phone. He said, my next load is Lake Street and Lindale. It's been good knowing you, buddy. Good luck. So the guy's egging him on, and then he says, nobody else wants to do it. He said, man, if things go south, I can help your wife get rid of that Harley and that snowmobile.
This is part 2.
So they planned driving through to hurt us.
That's what happened. That's why there was a chopper there.
Everybody know what I just said, but I need to repeat myself. Okay, everyone, be quiet. Be quiet so you can hear. Be quiet. This is very important. Listen up, everyone. Tell everyone there to be quiet, please. Hey, this is regarding George Floyd. Nobody make a sound right now, please. Please, not one sound. Not one sound. Listen, this attack on us was planned. It was planned. A guy, white supremacist, named Flying Dude. They got his phone from him when they took him down, and they took pictures of his text messages. This was planned. That was terrorist attack, not only on minorities, but everybody. We all could have died out there. So we have to be smart moving forward. Protect yourself. Don't be dumb, but protect yourself. Read the text message.
Mind your fucking surroundings.
I got 2 more videos I'm gonna play, TLO.
I feel you.
This is regarding the semi-driver that could have killed any one of us. They got his phone. They're reading. Hey, listen up.
Hold on a minute. I'm gonna stop screen sharing here for a minute so I can pull up video number 2. That was part 2. I forgot to show part 1 first. So let me get part 1.
Dwayne, come on.
Okay, this is part 1 of the video. Once I get it full screened. I'm sorry, I didn't know that was. I'm going to replay these videos in order. That way you guys can see order by order of what it is. I'm sorry, okay? When she sends stuff, Alright, sorry, TLO.
We're fine.
Everybody, listen up. Everybody pay attention. Look. That's just it. Hey, right now. Hey. We got the person who is driving the semi, and this is directly that is on his phone. He said, my next load is Lake Street and Lindale.
So this one's a little bit longer.
It's been good knowing you, buddy. Good luck. So the guy's egging him on, and then he says, nobody else wants to do it. He said, man, if things go south, I can help your wife get rid of that Harley and that snowmobile. Good luck. So they planned driving through to hurt us. This is why.
That's why there was a chopper there.
Everybody know what I just said, but I need to repeat myself. Okay, everyone, be quiet. Be quiet so you can hear. Be quiet. This is very important. Listen up, everyone. Tell everyone there to be quiet, please.
So I'm assuming that that gentleman was reading off what the driver of said semi had on his text messaging.
Yeah, this from the semi.
Yeah, exactly. The driver of the semi that drove through the crowd today. And see, this is what I'm talking about. This is not a surprise.
They got
That was terrorist attack, not only on minorities, but everybody. We all could have died out there.
Correct.
So we have to be smart moving forward. Protect yourself. Don't be dumb, but protect yourself. Read the text message. Yeah, read it back, bro.
As I've been saying this entire time, not against the police itself, but the institutionalized disregard for everybody else's safety, rights, and whatnot. It's basically a boys' club, you know. And yeah, they somewhat let women in now, and that's another whole debate in itself. But it's like, you know, when they say the line in blue, and I totally understand the principle behind that, and I totally admire it, but it has become like a battle flag, almost like a swastika, you know, the line in blue. Because in a lot of ways, if you look at a lot of the representations of when they have line in blues, they're on like a black and white flag. And where's the line in blue? It's between the white and the black. So if that isn't any sort of like subliminal messaging, you know, subterfuge, Big Brother sort of shit, if you want to get into that, that's some heavy shit right there. But no, it's the fact that, yeah, they don't care about anybody else but themselves. Because I'll put this out there too. You have no idea how mad I was when Justine Damon got popped. You have no idea. I was just like, see, y'all should know. Like, it's not about, you know, black people just dying. I mean, it's definitely about that, but it's just about the fact that the police force themselves have become a self-serving apparatus. And if a guy can go along and literally kill the woman who called him to the scene, that is beyond ridiculous.
Right.
And that too also happened here in Minneapolis.
Come on now, TLO. Dude, you know you can go on for however long y'all want to. Go ahead, man. I'm not
shit. I don't know. I don't want to take away from Scarlett's time.
Scarlett's here?
I'm sure she's creeping.
No, go ahead, dude. You're going. I'm sitting here looking for coverage of the protest while you're speaking. You're kind of giving me time to dig. You know, Tila, but I'll comment on what you said, okay?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll comment on what you said. Because
and now, if you want to pass along what maybe people have said in the comments, you can.
I'm going on.
All right then.
You know, guys, here's my thing. Becca, that is true. They are arresting Antifa members as we speak. This morning, President Trump has labeled Antifa members as labeled terrorists. Which 100% I support that fact.
And I will personally say I'll go as far as 50-50. I don't think Antifa itself is a bad thing, but I definitely think a lot of the people that are involved in Antifa are very heavy-handedly not really interested in anybody else's self-interest except their own. And a lot of them are those agents of chaos. A lot of them are just out there to burn shit, just to burn shit. Like, I'm about burning shit, but I have to have a purpose. I have to have a reason to be burning shit.
Oh, shit. Okay, so I am wrong. Antifa is now a terrorist organization, and Trump declares war on anarchist protesters.
Yes.
So there is an active war going on in our states.
No, there is an active war, period. And it's been somewhat active for a long time. It's just been under a lot of subterfuge. A lot of people, let's just say, less than desirable aspects of our society or culture, they've had a war waged on them for at least the last 15 to 20 years. you know. Um, and it's plays into this whole thing where I've been preaching on for the last week as I've watched my city burn literally in front of me.
Come on out here, bro.
Is the fact that we've become so divided.
Right.
Like, even though we're supposed to be like this more globalized, more like centralized human race, we're so fucking divided. Like, we divide ourselves in all these little subcategories, all these little groups, and it just gets to this point where we're paying so much attention to who's, who and who's with this group. We lose track of what's actually important, what's actually needed to be done. Is because we're too worried about labels. We're too worried about whether he said the right pronoun or whether, this person has the right to go to a bathroom or not. Like, let's worry about the fact that this planet is burning from the inside out. We now have viruses. We now have, don't even get me started, because pretty soon, I guarantee it, there's going to be wildfires in California, and they are going to be out of fucking control. I mean, absolutely beyond some of the shit that we've seen.
Right. Just to come in for breaking news for a minute. Arrests are being made as George Floyd protesters stand off with the police.
Yes.
Within Chicago as of right now.
Yes. There's a lot of places that have invoked a curfew, including Minneapolis, that are trying to start making arrests. Obviously, as I said, we'll see how well that pans out, because certain crowds would probably go along or disperse, or certain crowds will fight back tooth and nail.
Give me 1 minute as I try to pull my computer. It looks like it's crashing on me.
Police wanted to direct these crowds away from areas
we're gonna go ahead and play the stream.
That's what the mayor and the new police superintendent, they committed to that.
Go ahead. I'm looking like ass tonight anyways.
No, you're good. There you see the National Guard right there. That's a sheriff.
Those who either live in the area or stayed in the area after last night or somehow managed to get into this area, crowds numbering in the several hundred range, the police used all sorts of various techniques to let them protest, but to keep them moving through these areas, make a right-hand turn here and a left-hand turn here, and they really did not want all of these crowds to converge in front of the Trump Tower. It was very difficult to control at that point, and they didn't want the people who had massed in smaller groups across the loop in the river north to end up in the same place. And,
why you gotta put it on zip ties though?
The video that was shot by you and your team.
Because they don't have too many handcuffs. Zip ties are very quick and very effective in a lot of ways, and you should know that. Hint, hint.
In Old Town tonight. Chuck, thanks so much. And now as protests continue in Chicago, Mayor Lori Lightfoot reminding people to keep their guard up against COVID-19.
It goes without saying that all of this occurring while we are still in a pandemic poses even greater risk.
You mean plandemic?
So to those of you who do go out peacefully, again, please.
Seriously, Becca.
Please.
Your brother is at Mayo Clinic.
Distancing while you're marching.
My thoughts are with you, Becca Morrison. My thoughts are with you.
All of our thoughts are with you guys.
Safe travels. Be safe out there on the roads while you travel to the Mayo Clinic. And yeah, just in general, be safe out there, because obviously there's a lot going on. So you protect yourself and protect your friends, your family, and your loved ones. And just do the best that you can.
Show the moment a Chicago police officer was struck by a vehicle this afternoon.
Okay, that's not okay.
The dark sedan fleeing the scene.
That right there, Tilo, is not okay.
I didn't really see what was going on.
He struck a police officer.
That was the moment.
Right here.
And the police started getting all riled up with the black
Yes, no, and that's the thing is, as I said, there's a lot of pent up grr. There's a lot of pent up just anger. And when you've seen your people, like, just like I said, if it was white people, if it was you, Dwayne, if it was like your mother, if you have been subjugated to oppression by, say, black people for so long, and you saw a black officer come along and basically kill one of your white brothers or sisters, would you not be infuriated? Would
Oh,
you
I would.
not want blood? Like,
Oh,
that's
I
the
would.
thing people forget, is even though there's this race component, we're still all human beings. We all still react pretty much the same way. We just react differently because of our perspectives, because of the different lives that we've led.
Right. And TLO, it's the sad fact too, and as you guys can see, I'm laying down, my head's starting to hurt a little bit. As we can see too, everywhere is going. And so David Forte and Pam are saying that the guardhouse in front of the White House
Yeah,
is on
is on
fire.
fire.
So it looks, I don't think they will make it to the White House before they get shot. At this point, I mean, yeah, and I hate to say, oh, well, where'd TLO go? Let me call TLO back because he just kind of left me. I think his phone has died. No, okay. Dang it, TLO, what the hell happened?
Sorry about that. I'm not sure, but a helicopter went overhead and then all of a sudden, like, you just disappeared. So my guess is they're putting some sort of jammer out there at the moment. As I said, there's actually a lot of activity going on, but just not necessarily on the streets, or at least what's visible. Because there's definitely movement one way or another. I'm not sure who is moving, obviously, because I'm not out on the streets, but something
Right.
is happening out on the streets of Minneapolis at the moment, because there's still at present about 3 different military helicopters hovering about over South Minneapolis, at least as far as my perspective is allowed, or visibility.
Right. And TLO, and I wanna, I wanna stress this enough. I was getting ready to say this before you came on, before you went off for a minute. If y'all storm the White House and get shot, I'm sorry, that's y'all dumbasses' fault for trying to fucking storm the White House.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is we're at a point now, or this is where we are in our human history, is people are fed up enough that they are willing to possibly sacrifice themselves in an attempt on the White House, no matter what intentions, whether it's just rushing it and trying to make a point, or if somebody may or may not have some sort of more nefarious intent.
So just
But
further
people
evidence.
are willing to go at it. That's how serious of a situation. That's how much of a pinnacle we've gotten to, as far as what's going on in our culture, amongst our races, amongst our communities, amongst our politics, amongst everything. The total interaction amongst human civilization at this moment is under the microscope.
Okay, so now I'm getting word it's just a fence that has been. Hold on. I'm seeing what Scarlett is talking about in our group.
Oh, see, and like, there you go, Becca Morrison. I like you. I miss you. I remember you from EMA channel, Ron's channel.
Yep.
Becca, like, yes, what you saw with the peaceful protesting, that is majority of what it was. And even with the minorities, we were angry and we were out there and we were shouting and we were yelling and we were definitely mad as hell. But we weren't breaking shit, we weren't burning shit. And it did take until whoever it was, the paid Soros, if you take a look, There's a lot of stuff going around, and if you research, it looks like the majority of the businesses, why only certain businesses have been attacked and burned. A lot of them are owned by either Soros or Buffett.
What, Jimmy Buffett?
Correct.
All right. So look at this. It's gonna buffer here for a quick minute. As soon as it stops buffering on me, god damn it, Mel! The fuck you had to leave for? God damn it!
Like, yeah, all the auto zones are George Soros.
So here is a protest going on. You can tell people are running. TLO, they're throwing tear gas. Look at that.
Yes.
You can see that clear. You guys see that clear line of smoke, right?
Yep. Well, yeah, the line as it arcs through the air.
That is tear gas. And this is in Madison, Wisconsin, right here.
That's in Maddie? Oh, yeah, you're right. There's the capital.
Yeah, that's in Madison, Wisconsin. Right there's the capital.
No, I've been there plenty of times. Granted, I was mostly drunk off my ass, but whatever.
Okay, now you can see that tear gas has been deployed. You got... Oh, my God. I don't know why it's fucking doing this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get good coverage.
Dwayne, you know exactly why it's doing what it's doing. So calm down.
The government's trying to zap me.
Yes.
As I'm waiting for this to come back, I'm just gonna come over here and go here. I'm gonna
for any and all of you who are watching and or listening or viewing at said later time. I don't know. We're on YouTube, right?
We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, D Live, and so much more.
All right. So those people out there, YouTube, TLO, Minneapolis, blah blah blah. The government has tried to suppress information left and right. The government has tried to manipulate information left and right. So please do due diligence, do research, look things up, use all sorts of different platforms. I mean, you go as far as even read the local fucking newspaper, all right? Just don't necessarily take what the government, what our political leaders tell you without, I'm not even going to say a grain of salt, but I'm talking a whole salt shaker worth of salt. Because there is a lot of trying to manipulate the facts, manipulate the truth, manipulate the narrative. As I was telling Dwayne before, that shit that said, you know, all these people that are causing a lot of this shit is from out of town. And I will put it forth. Yes, there's a lot of players that are out from outside of Minnesota that are doing shit that they're not supposed to here. But I'm going to be real with you. There's definitely plenty of people who are taking the opportunity to express whatever anger they have, because it's, I'll put it out there, it's not necessarily because of George Floyd. It might just be because their girlfriend broke up with them, or they had to fucking pawn off their Xbox One, like whatever. Like they might be angry and they might want to try and act out, and they know that with all the chaos that is going on, this is a perfect opportunity.
TLO, they're shooting.
Yes.
Give me a minute.
Let's just say this has never happened in the city.
Oh, stop acting up, guys. Let me refresh this shit. In TLO too, I want to say this. My friend has possibly been institutionalized here too. He's a CO, and one of my friends right now is having an argument with him at this point in time. If y'all can pray for my buddy, I'm not gonna throw his name out there, but just pray that his eyes are opened. Please, damn it, get out of here. I don't want my screen sharing's not on. Okay, I just saved my ass. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to save my ass for a minute. So I don't give out people's anonymity. Sorry about that, TLO. You still there, TLO?
Yeah, sorry I had to step away for a moment. There was some shit happening down the street, some gunfire, not like a whole ton, but at least 1 or 2 shots.
of like,
albeit it not doesn't sound like anything
missed-
else so far.
we missed Governor Tim Walz. That's fucking shit. Hold on, I'm typing in our FRN backstage chat. Give me a minute. Okay, I'm gonna exit out of this to where it's not doing this, guys. I am sorry. That it's every time I enter full screen TLO that it does this to me.
Well, a lot of places, or I should say, a lot of online stuff right now is being monitored, manipulated, and trying to be censored. So, you're doing the best you can. We're doing the best we can here at the Freedom Revolution Network. Just put that out there.
We're trying, guys, and I'm trying to get
Good
you guys.
folks, trying to make sure that the truth is out there, trying to make sure that people's perspectives are covered. Kind of an independent contracted journal for them. I obviously have my own feelings, my own personal views. It definitely don't reflect the views of said Freedom Revolution Network. Just a little disclaimer there for y'all.
And guys, anything we are showing is for educational purposes only.
Correct.
This show is copyrighted by me, Dwayne Lanham, and the Freedom Revolution Network. TLO right there, that is out of... I don't even know where the fuck that's at. Where the fuck is this? TLO, I don't even know where the fuck this is. What the fuck? Where is this? Wait, is my screen share even on? No, it's been removed. Sorry. That's what I don't know. Where the fuck is this? TLO, are you seeing this?
I'm sorry, I was reading the comments.
Truth hurt, don't it? Where the fuck is this? Will you fucking comment? Oh, this is New Zealand. TLO. This ain't New Zealand. Get the fuck out of here.
No, they're about to try to push us back more.
Yeah, that's not fucking New Zealand, TLO. You can tell that's American. Is TLO still with me? No, I lost TLO. Again. Because as you're seeing, this is American firefighters fighting another structure fire.
Bro, they aren't tripping on shit, to be honest.
Give me 1 minute, guys. I'm going to go here. More options. Sorry, guys. You're going to see something. Okay. Yay. Thank you. Where's TLO? Oh, there he is. TLO, welcome back.
Thank you.
They got this little ass hose on it, but it's not.
Lots of stuff going on. Keep losing internet connectivity in pretty much every level. So my guess is there's a lot of
fucking
jamming going on.
Son of a bitch, that fucking hurt and scared the shit out of me.
All right, calm down now, Dwayne.
No, it scared the shit out of me when the honking started. That hurt a little tiny bit. Yeah, this is not.
So
this is America.
So guide us through this. What are we looking at, Dwayne?
We are looking at a Chase Bank. I'm trying to figure out where this is at.
Yeah.
It's
well,
not,
if it's a Chase Bank, it's definitely not around here because we don't have Chase Banks.
No, I don't know where this is at. It's not telling me.
My guess is probably East Coast.
DC.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, I just went through a comment right here. Washington, D.C. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So now someone else is saying this is San Diego. So this could be San Diego. This could be California. This could be San Diego, California, or Washington, D.C. I'm going to go with
Shit,
more of the
hold the
Washington,
phone. Let me
D.C.
see.
side.
Let me see. Check the license plates on the cars when you get a chance, and that would help.
If I can see a license plate.
Well, obviously you have to wait for the moment because, it's
Yeah,
not like they're going to look at their license plate, but if you can glance one.
I could probably try to. Hey, what the?
Uh,
Okay, a third, a fourth person that said DC.
I was about to say, it looks definitely more DC than it does San Diego, just to be honest.
Yeah,
And y'all might find this kind of weird or contrite, but because of what cars are on the road, that's how I can kind of tell.
yeah, this is DC. This is the DC area.
Oh, there's a fire truck right there.
Yep, right there. Yeah, I can see the plate. That's DC.
Bam. Yep. Just like I said, folks, I know as I was explaining, I know it might be weird, but I have a weird OCD thing in certain things, and cars are one of them. And geographically, knowing where cars are from and where they operate, that's part of it.
Yeah, this is DC. Well, I can tell by the fire truck right here too. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
DC.
right.
That's DC.
Yeah, that's definitely DC. Because if I am not mistaken, and I might be, but I do believe the San Diego fire trucks are actually yellow. I know that sounds weird, but I believe a lot of the cities out west in San Francisco actually have yellow fire trucks as opposed to red. Some of them are red and white, but ours here in Minneapolis, Minnesota are completely red. They are the red engine fire trucks. You there, brother?
Hey guys, what is up? I am back on the stream. I am so sorry about that, guys. The government just literally zapped the computer and has zapped the stream. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna call TLO and get TLO back. Let him know I am back in the stream.
Six 1 2 6 1 8 8 0 0 6 is not available. The mailbox.
Guys, I'm waiting for TLO to come back. Give me 1 minute. I'm letting my computer catch up here with me. I'm going to try to get another host in here with me. At least get another person. I'm gonna see if I can't get my friend Renee in here. Guys, I'm gonna keep trying to call TLO. Yeah, I got zapped really bad. My computer was burning up. I had to unplug the charger from my computer. They zapped my fucking computer charger. I'm trying to get another host or another person in here with me as I speak. That way, in case this happens again, I'm not being left alone. You guys aren't being left alone. Fucking shit. That way you guys can keep going. Give me a minute. I'm going to get someone else in here. Guys, I'm working on this slowly. Give me a minute. I'm trying to get another host or something in here. I don't know, but TLO hasn't answered the past 3 of my phone calls. God damn it. Yeah, guys, give me a minute. I'm trying to get a hold of another host or get somebody else in here with me in case this gets zapped. Guys, my computer is just, I don't know what my computer's doing. I'm going to try to call TLO again. Oh, my fucking God. Fuck me. They're trying to. Guys, they're completely trying to. I'm going to see if... Fuck. This is not good. This is not good. This is not good. Give me a minute, guys. I'm trying to get another person in here with me just in case I get zapped. I'm going to try to call Scarlett one more time. Guys, right, I know. I'm sorry that I'm on the phone on air, but I'm trying to get this fucking shit dealt with. God damn you, Scarlett. I can't get hold of nobody. Let me try calling Tila one more time. I'm playing with my cord. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. TLO, come back. Come back. Guys, right now I'm going to end the stream. I will be back here in a little bit. Once I can get another host or somebody on with me to where if I get zapped, this ain't going to happen again. I got to watch my computer. My computer is overheating. My phone is overheating. I will be back once I deal with the technical difficulties. Give me 15, 20 minutes. But guys, I love you. Stay safe. I'll see you here in 15, 20 minutes.